Hi friends, welcome to the Inspired Knitting Podcast. I'm your host Bobby and I am coming to you from southeastern New Brunswick, Canada. Today is Sunday, October the 6th, 2024, and you are watching episode 107, I believe it is. I'm pretty sure. So welcome. It has been a hot minute since I last talked to you guys. It's actually been a couple months, I'm pretty sure. Lots of stuff has been going on. So yeah, it's been a minute. So I had some free time today and I have a lot to show you guys. So I thought I would sit down. I got my first coffee of the day going. So I thought I would sit down and record with you guys and catch you up on what I've been working on. So if you're new to the podcast, welcome. This is a podcast where I share with you my journey and my knitting and crochet and spinning and just all kinds of fibery fun. So yeah, if that's your kind of thing, you could hit the subscribe button if you would like to and support the channel, which I would greatly appreciate. And if not, that's okay. Just enjoy the podcast, grab your favorite beverage of choice, and we will get right into it because it's going to be hopefully not too long of an episode, but I have quite a bit to share. So yeah, how's everybody been doing? I missed you guys so much. Hope everybody's summer has been going well. It was a pretty decent summer down here. I spent not as much time outside as usual, but I did get lots of patio knitting in, and it's glorious. That's my favorite thing. Now it's starting to cool down for fall, so I can actually sit outside with my knits, my hand knit sweaters and cardigans, and be all cozied up. And the dog is playing. I got my knitting and my coffee. It's perfect. So we have been blessed with, so far, a good start to the fall. So I'm very happy about that too. So yeah, excuse me. Just FYI, I hope I don't break out into a cough. 2 weeks ago, I tested positive for COVID. It is sadly going around this area. So just be careful out there, guys. So yeah, I did contract it. My household contracted it. So I'm just getting over it. The fatigue is the worst of it. So if I start to cough, I do apologize, but I got my coffee here. So yeah, I'm not going to bore you guys with a lot of life news because I live a pretty normal, quiet life. I'm still doing my GED. For those of you that have asked, it's going quite well. I'm still in math. I think there's 3 workbooks to go through, and I'm on workbook 2, and I just got my assessment back from workbook 1, and I got a 94%. So I am super stoked about it, just because I was never good at math. So now that I'm actually understanding math and actually kind of liking it, it's kind of therapeutic. It's very exciting for me. So for those of you that have been asking about my schooling, it is going quite well. So thank you for asking and encouraging me along in my journey. It's been fun. So yeah, all that to say, grab your beverage, grab your knitting, your crocheting, or whatever it is you'd like to work on, and let's get started. So I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. So this past summer, I'm gonna say there's been a lot of sock knitting. Just with my schooling and everything, it's just socks are so easy. So I also have been wanting to knit for a fall market. We have a beautiful market in Sackville, New Brunswick, and a couple of people, they've been encouraging me to bring my hand knit socks. And I've always been on the fence about, bringing hand knit socks to a market. But the thing of it is, I've been knitting up a lot of thick socks. So worsted weight socks, DK weight socks, they take nothing to knit up. And the good thing about it is it's using up a lot of scrap yarn that I have in my stash. So for several of these pairs of socks I'm about to show you, they're all knit using Summer Lee Knits pattern. She's got two of them. She's got the Thick Miss socks and she's got the Thicksgiving socks. So there are two different collections. Each collection has 3 different patterns in the collection. And it's all using DK weight yarn or your fingering held double. And there's plain vanilla, there's like, I think there's a textured, there's a cabled one. There's even one that has like a mock cable for the cuff. Very beautiful patterns. They are paid for patterns and they are so worth it. So Summer Lee Knits, Thicksgiving, and Thick Miss. Do check it out. So this, I always get them mixed up. I don't know which one I did. I think I did the Thick Miss socks, but I went into my stash and I pulled out fingering weight yarn and I held it double. So I won't be able to tell you what these yarns are really. It's just whatever I had in my stash. So I just had this beautiful purple with pops of blue in it. So I held that double for the cuff. I do about 12 to 14 rounds of a 2x2 rib. I like a good 2x2 rib. I cast it on, and also the patterns, they come from, I don't know if there's a baby size, but I do know definitely there is a child size, a teen size, adult small, or woman small, adult medium, and then adult large. And I did the child size for these. And I'm not going to say numbers because that would be giving away the pattern, and I don't wish to do that. I do know that this color here is also a fingering double. This is the Northern Pearl, and it's one of my favorite colorways. I just love how it knits up because it looks like watercolors. It's just so beautiful. So I just followed the pattern exactly. This is just the plain vanilla. I did a slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset. That is in the pattern as well, and I did that in the purple. So it is a great way to use up my stash, and I still have enough of this to put in a scrappy blanket, so I'm pretty excited. So that is the first pair, and these will be for market unless I choose to gift them. I don't know yet. This is another pair. This is also from the same Thick Miss pattern. This is again the child size, and they're all pretty much the same. I do about 12 to 14 rows for the cuff, and then I think I do about a 5.5 inch leg. This is Knit Picks Brava, so this is a worsted. So I just followed again the Thick Miss pattern, and I think they turned out amazing. The Brava is a 100% acrylic yarn, but if they're going to market, I want to have a wool option, and I also want to have an acrylic option for those that might be wool sensitive. So I did those, and I also got these ones. I believe this size is now the teen size. I can't remember. I might have just done a longer cuff. Maybe that's what I did. But this is also Knit Picks Brava, 100% acrylic. I have quite a few balls of Brava, so I was like, it's a great way to use up my stash. So let me see here. I'm just trying to keep these somewhat in order. So the next pair is these ones, and I think I kind of got inspired by something I saw on Instagram where they did like the colored stripes, and I thought it looked so cute. So for these ones, this is still the Thick Miss pattern. This is definitely the adult small size that I did this time. I still cast on my 2x2 rib just because it's my favorite. This white, this is Barocco Vintage, which again is, you can get vintage DK and you can get vintage. This is just vintage, so it's kind of the worsted. So they turned out just slightly thicker, but I am not worried about it. The colored stripes is Sirdar, I believe it's Sirdar Snuggly. I have a few of these in my stash, so these were all leftovers. So I just did 4 rows. I think I did, yeah, 4 rows of the gold, 4 rows of the blue, and 4 rows of the pink. So the Sirdar is actually a DK, so you can't really tell, but you can kind of see the difference in my gauge, or in the gauge between the white and the color. But I'm not worried about it. I think it turned out just fine. So I really enjoyed how those ones turned out. Those are pretty cute. So I do have the thought, because I still have quite a bit of this left over, and I definitely have the Barocco. I might actually do a plain white toque and do the striping in that, and maybe some mittens. I don't know yet. It could be a set. I just finished these and I got inspired by something else, so I had moved on, but that's kind of the plan. That's what I love about these knits. Are so simple, but they're just so beautiful, and they're so easy to do. So there's that one. The next pair of socks, yes guys, I went crazy with the socks. This next pair is also part of the Thickness pattern. I just used the vanilla pattern to do all this, and then just kind of did my own thing. So I had a skein of Cascade Wave. So the Cascade Wave, it's like a marled yarn, and it kind of goes from one color to another. I know that Cascade also has the Night Shift kits for the Andrew Mowry Night Shift shawl. That is actually, I think, where this one come from, or maybe this was just an extra. But I had this pretty one. It's called Grayscale. So you can kind of see how it's darker up here, and then do you see how it goes kind of lighter? They're just really cool. So I thought I would use that in a pair of socks, kind of give it that work sock look. And then for the stripes, I had some Cascade 220 just laying around in a scrap. It was a purple. I don't know what the colorway name is. So I added in the two stripes to make it kind of like a work sock. So that's what I did there. This one here would be the adult medium size that I followed in the Thickness pattern. So I don't even know. I might have done like 20 rows for my cuff and then did a 6-inch leg maybe. I don't really know. I don't really write this stuff down. I use Knit Companion when I do my patterns. I am not a paper pattern person. I'm not a book pattern person. Once I had discovered Knit Companion, I absolutely love my Knit Companion, and it's all personal preference. Some people don't like using their phones and their tablets to follow a pattern, and it like I said, it's all personal preference. It's just for me personally, I love having the convenience of the phone or the tablet, and especially with the tablet, excuse me, you can get the pattern to blow up a little bit bigger, which is great for old eyes and for people that refuse to wear their glasses. And also the great thing about it too, they have little clickers, I guess. They're little things going down the right side where you can click, like I cast it on. This is how I do it, especially for sweaters. I cast it on 150 stitches for a sweater. So that way I can look back on that and say that's what I did. Or I just completed row 4 of a pattern and repeat. And you can do that. Like there's different little boxes that you can click to mark how many rows you've done. And they also have another button that you can click and you can add notes for your pattern. So for this, and this is all part of the free version of Knit Companion, you can pay, and it's not that much at all, you can pay a yearly subscription to have Knit Companion, and it gives you some other additional features. I don't use those features, so I just don't bother. So Knit Companion is completely free. It is available on Android and Apple, so I do recommend checking it out. And so yeah, so all that to say, as I have my thickness pattern open, I just mark down that, oh, I cast it on the adult medium. I did a 2x2 rib for, say, 20 rows for the cuff, and then I would knit through my leg, and then I would say, oh, I did 50 rows for my leg, so I would mark that down, and I picked up this many stitches for the gusset. I knit 40 rows for my foot, and that is all right there compacted into my little notes of the pattern. So that's how I follow it. I don't really mark my stuff on Ravelry. Sometimes I do, just in case I want to look back and say, this is what I did. But that's kind of my system on how I do it. Some people, I know Kay the Crazy Sock Lady, she'll put a stitch marker, like a light bulb stitch marker, every 10 rows that she does, to say that she did that many rows for the leg and the foot. I did try that, and I wasn't really a fan of it. I just kind of like, I just want to keep knitting. So that's how I do it. Little tangent there, I apologize. So there's these ones. They are really, really good. And to be kind of honest, I want to keep them for myself. It's purple, guys. It's purple. I love it. Okay, next pair I am so happy with. Again, this episode is sponsored by Summerly Knits. Another pair of thickness socks. I am addicted to them, guys. So this pair here, I'm not afraid to show this. This is a club colorway. This was Rose Hill Yarns October colorway. I believe it was called Goblin's Garden, and it is so darn good. So my light was kind of blowing it out. There we go. It is so darn good. So I have been subscribed to the Rose Hill Yarns Club Colorway of the Month for about 4 months now, and I have never been disappointed once. It is fabulous. So I don't remember if there's different options, if you can get one skein or more than one skein. You could go over to Rose Hill Yarns website and get all the proper info. But it's really amazing. And the great thing about it is that you could subscribe for her club colorway just for 1 month. Or you could subscribe for 2, or I think there's a 3-month option as well. And I really like that because sometimes when you subscribe to a yarn subscription, you can't, maybe 3 months down the road, it's not really in the budget to do it. And I really like that she has that option to pick, like, I only want to do 1 month, or it's really fabulous. So I really, really like that. So I did skip this month, and I probably will regret it, but I do believe that you are able to get the colorway, the club colorway, eventually. So October's colorway, Goblin Garden, you might be able to get it on her website. I should have looked that info up and been a proper podcaster, but I think the colorways are eventually available to you. It's just that if you're a club member, you get them a couple weeks in advance. All that to say, Goblin Garden, it came with a 20-gram mini skein. They are sock sets, and it was this beautiful gray. So I did, of course, my 2x2 rib, and then I just did plain stockinette because I really wanted that color to shine. So it is fingering. She does have DK option as well. I did get the fingering one, and I just held everything double. So I did the cuffs, and then I held Goblin Garden double, and it's so darn good. So I did the slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset, and because I held the 20 gram mini double, I didn't believe that I could get the toes out of it. So maybe I could have gotten the heels out of it. I probably could have if holding double. But what I did is I just went into my stash and I pulled out a pretty plum purple that I thought would work really well. And I just added those in. So that's what I did. I believe this is... I don't even remember what it is. It's just a scrap. This is real DK weight, though. This is not fingering held double. So that's what I did. And I do not... These are definitely not for market. These are going in my sock drawer. And I am going to love them. These are amazing. If you have not tried the Thick Mist socks or holding fingering double for socks, they just make the most amazing house socks ever. I am not one to wear socks in my boots. I don't like it. But around the house when my feet are cold, I actually, especially like in the winter, I prefer having the thick socks compared to just the fingering held single. They're just so squishy and so amazing. So I'm going to grab a quick sip of coffee because my throat's starting to get sore. So that is it for the thick socks for right now. I'm going to move on to 2 other pairs of socks that I have finished. So back in... I'm starting to lose focus of the months now. Okay, so I believe back in August, I was home for a couple days by myself, which I love. I love it. It's sometimes you just need some downtime by yourself. Well, my friend, he had made a trip to Ontario, and I had a little incident while he was gone. He was actually on his way back home, but he was still like, I believe at that time he was coming through Quebec, coming back to New Brunswick. We're talking like a 1,500 kilometer trip one way. But all that to say, he was on his way back home. And I call him and I was like, so I got a little bit of a problem. I'm in a power wheelchair. And the dog just pulled out my power cord. So there's a power cord that goes from my controller that operates the chair. It goes into the back battery box and plugs in. There's actually 2 connections in total. And unfortunately, the pup had gotten a hold of said wire and decided to pull it, and she unplugged both of them. So unfortunately, I cannot get up out of this chair. I am bound to the chair. And unfortunately, when it happened, I was sitting in the middle of the kitchen. So there was no other chair around me. If there had been, I could have transferred onto a kitchen chair and fixed the darn thing. But I was literally in the middle of the floor when she did this. So I was stuck, and all my family and friends, they live like an hour away from me. So I was kind of like, oh, darn it. I might have to call 911. And then we have really good friend neighbor down the road. He owns a construction company, and Richard's like, just call him, he'll come. And I was like, oh, but he's so busy, I don't want to bug him. Well, this man is amazing. He has helped our family out many times. We've helped him out. Just wonderful, to God honest people. They are just beautiful people. Well, as busy as this man is, he was in Nova Scotia at the time. He dropped everything and he was at our house within 25 minutes. And I was like, you didn't have to drop everything. It wasn't that much of an emergency, but he dropped everything and he came and he plugged the wheelchair back in and got mauled by the dog. My dog will not hurt you. She's a 7-month-old pointer pup. She's just very excited and hyper, and she'll just lick you to death. And that's exactly what she did, which he didn't mind. But he fixed my chair, and it was just so nice of him to drop everything like that. Because like I said, he's a very busy man, and it was on a Sunday of all times too. All that to say, I have to have a way to say thank you. And my way of saying thank you is my knitting, because it comes from the heart. So I decided to knit him a pair of socks. So he has a lot of big trucks, and they're all this color. They're all like a bright green. So we were at 3 Bags Full in Moncton, and it was actually Wrecker, my friend Wrecker. He picked out this colorway. I had picked out a green from Feisty Fibers, and I thought it was the green, but then when I held it up to their trucks, I was like, yeah, that's not the green. So this one was at 3 Bags Full. This is Cascade Heritage, which is a fingering. And my light is slightly blowing it out. I would say that is more true. Heritage, I'm sorry, is a very beautiful yarn. It's very soft. It is a superwash nylon blend, and it's perfect. It is so perfect. So he does not know that I've made these for him yet. I wanted it kept a secret. His girlfriend, she does know that I'm making him a pair. It was actually her that suggested the color, and she's like, could you do his truck, like his truck's color, because he's obsessed with it. And I was like, yeah, I could pull that off. So happy. I didn't follow a pattern for this. I just cast it on 64 stitches, 2x2 rib. And then when I got past the cuff, I just went into a 3x1 rib. I just wanted to do something different. And then I did my classic slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset. And then I continued the 3x1 rib down the foot. So they are finished, and they are super bright and colorful, but they're awesome. They're actually pretty cool. So I got those done. So these now can be gifted to him. And then I wanted to do a pair of socks for his girlfriend. And sadly, we just found out last week that they are no longer together. Not going to get into that because that's nobody's concern but their own. But I was knitting her a pair of socks just because she's also been very nice to our family. So I also picked this yarn up the same day that we went to 3 Bags Full. Kathy is the owner of 3 Bags Full. She has a wonderful selection of Riverside yarns, or Riverside Studio. And this one is, let me see here. It is Superwash Merino Nylon Sock, 420 yards, and it is in the ballet colorway. And I decided that I wanted to do the Gingerbread Latte pattern by Julie Ann Knitter. I think she still goes by Twin Stitches Designs, I believe. And it's just such a fun pattern. So I'm actually going to pull one off the sock blocker here so you can get a better look at it. So this one I cast, it is a fingering weight sock. It comes in 3 sizes, 56 stitch, 64, and 72. I did the 64 stitch. And as you can see, it's got this beautiful slip stitch, or not slip stitched, twisted kind of stitch, and then it's got the cables. And the cables are so easy to do. It is a 4-row repeat, and it is very potato chip knitting. So as you can see, I have been obsessed with just plain vanilla, and I have been wanting to get back into a pattern sock, and I thought this one was just perfect because it is so simple. and it's just so beautiful. So you do have the pattern on the front, and then the back of it is just plain vanilla, so that was even better. So the cuff, I just did the twisted rib that was called for, and yeah, it does have a slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset. I followed everything in the pattern, and I absolutely love them. They're perfect. So yeah, I don't know yet. These might go to market, or they might just end up going into my sock drawer because I love my purple. So we will see what happens. But Gingerbread Latte socks by Julie Ann Knitter. She is a New Brunswick pattern and designer, and she is fabulous. She actually has her book out of her sock patterns as well, and you can pick up a copy from 3 Bags Full, which I want to. I have test knit for Julie before. I have several of her sock patterns, and I really wanted to buy her book. I just don't knit from a book. So I would rather buy her patterns off of Ravelry and knit through my knit companion. But if you are a person that loves knitting socks, and you love knitting from a book, or just having the book, which that is another option. I love my books. It's a beautiful book to have in your collection. It's very beautiful. So you can pick up a copy from 3 Bags Full, but if you head on over to Julianne's Instagram, and I think she's got a website too, I'm pretty sure she does, you can also find where you can purchase the book there as well. So highly recommend. Okay, so I think that's it for the socks. So I'm going to continue with finished objects first. So the next thing that I have to share with you guys, besides socks, the next thing that is easiest to knit is dishcloths. So I have quite a bit of cotton, and I thought, well, if I'm going to do a market, it'd be nice to have a little basket set up with just all these different dishcloths that people can mix and match and what have you. So some of these I knit, some of these I crocheted. So these I pretty much, for my knitted dishcloths, I always do the Grandma's Second Favorite Dishcloth by PJ Allen. There are several different patterns for Grandma's Favorite Dishcloth on Ravelry, and a lot of them are free. So PJ Allen's pattern, and I will link everything. I forgot to say that. I mark show notes all in the description box below. It is a free pattern. So if you're not familiar with the Grandma's Favorite Dishcloth, you cast on at the top and you knit on the bias. So you would just keep knitting, and then once you reach your desired amount of stitches, the pattern says to go to 45 stitches, and that's what I've done. You do 2 rows of plain knitting, and then you start decreasing down the other side, and then you get a perfectly squared dishcloth. So I did the no holes option. There is an option where you could do yarn overs to have these pretty little eyelets around. I kind of like the ones without the holes, so that's what I did here. So for this one, I have 3. This is the Queensland cotton, and I picked this up from Yarn It in Coburg, Ontario. And I don't remember what the colorway name is. I actually put it on my Ravelry, but they are, I believe, 100-gram balls of cotton, and I got 3 dishcloths out of it, and I still had a little bit of leftover, not too much. So that is pretty decent, and I really like the Queensland cotton. It's my first time working with it, and it's pretty nice. I like it. So these ones I really don't want to give away, but we'll see. They have, I think there's perhaps 5 different colors in the Queensland cotton, and they are all beautiful. So I think that was around $11 or $12 Canadian. So it is pricier than your typical Bernat handicrafter, or, you know, your more, how do you say it, ecological, budget-friendly cottons. So, but it is a little bit softer, a little bit nicer. So, I really enjoyed it, and I will definitely work with it again. So for the rest of these, this is, I didn't put my ends in on this one, but I had just finished this one. This is Loops and Threads, classic cotton I bought at Michael's. So this one, I'll just show you this one first. I crocheted, so I cast it on, it's all on my Ravelry, but I think I cast it on 35 stitches. And then I'm doing like a seed stitch texture. So you crochet one stitch and then you double crochet into the next. And you do that all the way across. And then you just keep going until your desired length. So I just had a crochet bug, so I thought I would do that. And I kind of wanted to see how the colorway would knit up, and I do believe I put the colorway on my Ravelry as well. It's just a pretty lilac with these yellow specks in it. So it is quite interesting how it crocheted up, and then you can see how this is leftovers, how it knit up. So for me personally, I like how it knit up, but it's kind of cool. So I was able to get a dishcloth, crochet dishcloth, and I used the rest of the leftovers for a knitted one. So that ball is completely gone and out of my stash, which makes me happy. So this is Bernat Handicrafter. It's just a pretty lilac. I had about a half a skein of that, so I added that in for the other half to make a mixed match one. And then this one here, this is cotton that I ended up getting this past summer from my local grocery store. They had balls of, I wouldn't say it was fingering weight cotton, but it was more like a DK maybe. And it's super, super soft and kind of drapey. It's actually pretty nice. So I just, again, cast it on 37 stitches and did like a crocheted seed stitch. So crochet one, double crochet in the next. And I really love how this stuff works up. It was only $2 Canadian a ball, and I was kind of skeptical at first because I was like, I don't know, but it was really, really nice. So they had like orange, and they had yellow, white, pink, blue. So I ended up buying like maybe 8-10 balls of it, and I'm glad that I did because I really like it. It's really nice worked up. So I worked one of those up. And then I decided that I wanted something a little different. So my friend Shelby had posted a pattern we have like a little Instagram group, and I'm not that active on it. And sometimes I feel bad about that because there's so many talented ladies in that group. I don't know. I'm not a chatty person online. If I see you in real life, if I'm comfortable with you, I will chat your ear off, but I am very bad for not being able to reach out to people online. I don't know. Sometimes I do. Somebody usually has to strike up the conversation with me. All that to say, that doesn't matter. Shelby had posted this in the group, and it's this really cute chicken coaster pattern, and it is a free pattern. It's by the Cosmic Thread, and it is so freaking cute. I love it. So it is this is Bernat Handicrafter, and it is, as I said, crocheted. And you do the body of the chicken, and then you do its little pieces. So this is another great project that will help you stash bust, and that is what I've been trying to do. So I have all these little leftovers of different colors, so it's perfect. So I've been having some fun with it. I did your classic white chicken. I did a brown one. And this is also handicrafter still. And then I did a black one. And they are just so freaking cute. So these will be going on our kitchen table. But I want to keep making them. They are so fast to crochet up. I'm going to say everybody crochets at a different speed. I'm going to say roughly 20 minutes to half an hour to crochet one up for me. I go a bit slower just because I do have wrist pain in that, and crocheting definitely aggravates it. And when you work with cotton, it's not as easy to go through the hook. So I go a little bit slower just so because I don't want to mess up my wrist. But they are a super fast project. They're so cute, and yeah, I am so happy about this. So thank you for sharing that, Shelby, if you're watching, because they are adorable and it's free. So I'm going through my stash and I'm going to make a bunch of these for market as well, and probably gifts as well, because come on, they're cute. I do have another one started. I'm not going to show it to you, but I'm going to do a brown chicken, and then I'm going to start having fun with the colors. So it's little, I think they call it the comb, like it's little hair. I want to do like purple, and I want to do orange for the beak. Like I want to start having fun with the colors of them as well. So I think that would be pretty cool. So that is by the Cosmic Thread. They are called the Chicken Coasters, which I will, of course, link it below. So I've been having fun with those. All right. I think that is it for finished objects. That was a lot, or it seemed like a lot, but I'm glad that we are only at 42 minutes, so that is not so bad. So I did bring along 3 works in progress with me today. So I will jump into that. And just quickly, I forgot to even say what I was wearing today. I am wearing my Love Note by Tin Can Knits. I'm not going to go into detail because I have already shown this and talked about it a lot. This was knit using Leo and Roxy fingering weight held with a strand of their mohair in the Robin colorway. And I love it. I just love it. The Love Note is a classic, and this one has the shorter sleeves on it because I didn't have enough yarn to do the long sleeve version, but I absolutely love it. So there's that. Do check it out. All right, so works in progress. Surprise, surprise, there's socks. There's always socks. So the first one I'm going to share with you, I just put this on the needles this morning. So now that I got the green pear and the gingerbread latte socks off my needles, I wanted, of course, to start casting on some fall Halloween colorways because we are October now. So Shelly of Polka Dot Creek, she did her fall Halloween update, and she had this wonderful kit. It came with this bag, which is made by Penny of Creek Garden Crafts, and it's got the cute little jack-o'-lanterns inside. And then on the outside, you have these cute little kitties, Halloween kitties. And I could not resist this. You know me and my kitty cats. So I ended up getting the set. So it did come with a sock set. So here is Polka Dot Creek. And the set was called Self-Striping Sock Set, the Headless Horseman. I believe that you could buy just the sock set by itself without the bag. I'm pretty sure. So it is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, The main self-striping is a 50 gram, and then the contrasting mini, which is just called gray, it is a 20 gram. So this I casted on just this morning, so I have just the tiniest little beginning here. It's just the cast on. So I will be working with that today. So not much to show there, but I had to show you the set because it is just so adorable. And Shelly still has her Halloween collection on her website. I don't know what is available, but I wanted to share this with you guys now in case you wanted to do something fall Halloween, look for fun colorways, do go check her out. So here is the Headless Horseman. This is the 50 gram self-striping mini. Classic Halloween. I love it. And as you can see, there is speckles in there, which, oh, to die for. And one thing I do like about Polka Dot Creek is she always, or usually always, posts what the self-striping looks like knit up. So you can check that out and you can see what it looks like. And I love all of Shelly's self-striping, so it's a no-brainer. But that is also fun in case you want to see what it looks like first. And then it came with a 20 gram mini. So yeah, don't know how I'm gonna knit it up just yet. This is fingering. So I don't know if I'm gonna do the cuffs in gray and the toes, like heels and or cuffs and toes, or if I want to do just cuffs and heel. I have no idea what I'm doing just yet. Whatever inspires me, but I wanted to get this casted on. So I will be working on this today. I am super excited. I decided to bring this along with me. I have gotten several things in the mail for yarn. I've been purchasing like some fall Halloween colorways, but I figured this episode is going to be long enough, so I'm not going to include a stash enhancement section today. But I did bring this one along with me. So this is also Polka Dot Creek. This was part of her Halloween collection. And this one was the reason why when she said that she was going to do the update, I had it in my calendar to go off because I did not want to miss it. So this is her self-striping sock set in the Wool Witches colorway with pink popsicle. So it is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. The self-striping is a 50, and then you have your 20. Whoa, and that's blowing out really bad. There we go. How freaking amazing is that? It is so good. So good. And it looks amazing knit up as well. So I had to share this one with you guys too, because I went ballistic when I saw it. I was like, oh my God. So good. So I had to show you guys that one. Okay. All the fall Halloween colors are just making me so happy right now. Okay, so the next thing I have to share with you is another sock, and I have it housed in my favorite project bag. I've been using it now for about 2 months, and I am obsessed with it. So this project bag is by, let me just show you, whoop, where's their tag? Wonder Twin Fiber Arts. They are a Canadian bag maker. And I had Merritt of Gobsmacked Yarns. She has a brick and mortar store in Sackville, New Brunswick. She has a couple of these bags on display. And what's really unique about them is they have this strap with the clip. And it just unhooks like that, and I was kind of like, okay, I don't know how I feel about that. My stuff's gonna fall out. It doesn't, because you just you just roll it up like this and then snap it back together and nothing can fall out. It is perfect. So I was like, oh my gosh. So she had this one and it's got the kitty cat, the orange kitty cat, and I was just like, I couldn't resist it. I had to have it, and I'm glad I did. So it is a very wonderful bag. Wonder Twin Fiber Arts. Go check them out. They are on Instagram. They have beautiful, beautiful bags. I do have another one of their bags as well. It's got, like, it's red with dragons on it. It's very beautiful. Do check them out. They are high quality bags, in my opinion. It's made with nice, thick fabric. It's just perfect. I'm obsessed. So, in this bag, I have a test knit. I actually posted a picture yesterday on my Instagram. I reached out to Carly of North Woods Knit Co. She had did a test call for one of her new pattern collections. It is called the Homestead Sock Collection. There is 3 DK weight sock patterns in this collection, and she accepted me as a test knitter. So out of the 3, I wanted to test knit the Fresh Herb socks because I thought they were just adorable. And I got the first one complete. So the pattern is now live. It went live yesterday, Friday, October the 5th. Nope. Friday was October the 4th. I'm all lost. It got released on Friday. It is now live. And if you head on over there to Carly's Instagram or Ravelry, you can also get 15% off. I believe the coupon code is Homestead15, but check out her Instagram to get the proper info. And if you are a subscriber to her newsletter, there is an extra little discount as well. So, and I recommend you subscribe to her newsletter because Carly has the most stunning sock patterns. They're just all so beautiful. I love that there's not just one sock. There's she does the collections. So there's different ones to choose from. And I think the thing that draws me most to Carly's patterns is that there's cables. And cables is why I got into knitting. Cables are just so beautiful. So all that to say, I got one sock done. And this one is not cables, but it's just so pretty. So I am holding fingering held double. So you can choose to do fingering held double or just use a DK. And it's just this very beautiful stitch right here. My yarn is kind of dark, so it's not popping the best, but it's just got this very beautiful twisted pattern as well. Very beautiful. And then the back is just plain knit. So I am using 2 colorways that I had in my stash from the Northern Pearl. One is called Fire Spectre. And whoop, throwing my scissors around here too. 1 second. So one is called Fire Spectre. So this is a fingering. And then this one I lost the tag for, but it's kind of the same tones, except there's like this goldy color that pops through. So kind of different. And I do know that I have 1 skein of each of these still in my stash if I needed it, but I don't think I will. So you can definitely see the differences between the 2 now. So I'm holding these double, and I just love it. It's so good. And I think that is the beauty of holding 2 fingering weights together. It creates this beautiful fabric. So there is the first sock, all done, and it is really good. I would say it does come in 3 sizes. I think if I was this pair of socks, I think I'm going to gift, or I'll just take to market. I need to up a size for myself. They do fit me, but they're a bit more snug than I like to wear. But yeah, they're perfect. It's nothing to do with the pattern. It's just I chose the wrong size for myself. But they are amazing. Maybe if I gave them an actual wash in a block, maybe it would stretch out a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I really, really love it. It is so beautiful. So beautiful. So this is the Homestead Collection by Northwoods Knit Co. And I will have that posted below. So if you are interested, do head on over while the discount code is still available. There is 2 other patterns in the collection. The other sock kind of has the same, it's definitely not the same, but it kind of has the same vibe as this one. And then her sourdough pattern, they are all DK. Her sourdough pattern, I think I would like to cast on after these ones. It has a beautiful cable going down the front of the sock. It just looks so good. And I love sourdough bread. So I think I would like her sample. She did a contrast cuff and heel for the sock, maybe even a toe. Her fresh herb sock definitely used a contrast for the cuff and the toe. I just decided to do plain, which I like. I don't regret it. So you could definitely do contrast as well. It's your sock. You get to do what you wish. But for her sourdough pattern, she used like a pretty caramelly brown color, and then her main body of the sock was kind of like cream with those kind of contrasting soft speckles in it. It's just so good. So I want to see if I can find something in my stash that's kind of similar to that, and knit that pattern up next. I think that would be amazing. So do go check it out. I will have it linked below. This was a lot of fun. I don't even know why I haven't gotten the second one done yet. It's a really good pattern. It's not hard at all. I was just having wrist problems, so holding fingering double, it is a little bit harder on the wrist than just plain fingering, so that's my excuse, guys. All right. So I have one more works in progress that I'm going to share with you. I decided to take on another test knit, and I know it will not be done in time. I don't anticipate it to be. I had reached out to Vera Vakamali for her newest, she has 3 sweater patterns. I think there's 3. They're going to be coming out in November. And one of them, she had made a post on her Instagram. So if you head on over there, you can see what they are. But one of them was called the Wild Air Pullover. So it is a DK weight pullover, and it's just a simple vanilla sweater, but it looks so cozy. It's got the drop shoulders. I love the drop shoulders. They just fit so well. And the special feature about them is that the ribbing on the neckline, the cuffs, and the bottom ribbing, like the bottom band, it's got like, I don't know if it's a tubular bind off, but it just looks really nice and finished. So I'm a little nervous about that because usually I don't do that, but I will be doing it, obviously. So I decided to reach out to her, and I got accepted. So I am doing that one. So I have it in my favorite project bag because of the coffee gnomes, obviously. This is a bag by Awesome Granny. I've always wanted a bag by Awesome Granny, and now I got one. Darlene's bags are incredible. She is from Texas, I believe. Love her. She has amazing project bags. And I could not resist. I can't resist gnomes, but they're coffee gnomes. This is my heart right here in a bag. It's perfect. And her bags are like huge too. So as I said, it is it's a test net. It hasn't been released yet. So it is a DK weight. So you would be holding fingering with mohair, or just use a DK weight. I slightly modified that. So I did not want to go out and buy yarn for this. I wanted to use something from my stash. So I make sure I have the right tag. 1 second. This is not, oh, it is. Okay, sorry. So I had purchased a sweater's quantity of Cascade Heritage 6. So like the green socks, Cascade has the Heritage, which is a fingering. Well, they have their Heritage 6, which is a DK weight. So it is 100 gram, 292 yards, and the colorway number is 5603. So I'll give you those details first. So I purchased this from Galt House of Yarn, which is in Cambridge, Ontario. So I purchased this online because I really love the Heritage because it's such a soft yarn, and I definitely wanted to try their DK weight, and oh my god, it's my favorite. It's a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. So I really wanted to use that. So here's the blue, minus the extra fluffies. It's just a very, very beautiful blue. So I cast it on and I did a gauge swatch with it. And I started to knit the sweater, and something kept eating at me. And what kept eating at me is that one of my favorite things about the garments that I've made is that they got mohair in them. I did not have, well, I do have other fingering weight sweater quantities, but I had this blue Surrey alpaca in a sweater's quantity. I was going to do an Andrea Mowry pattern. It was the cardigan. I can't remember, the big cozy, something like that. It was you knit, you use I think it's fingering weight for the cardigan, but then the big shawl collar on it was knit with Surrey alpaca. So I was going to do that, and then it seemed too overwhelming. So I had the Surrey sitting in my stash, and I was like, oh, I need to do something with it. And I was like, but that would look so good together. So the pup Blue is in her cage right now, so Mommy could podcast, and she's getting a little antsy, so I'm gonna kind of move along quicker. So if her barking bothers you, I apologize. So the Surrey alpaca is the Fiber Co. Churro, I believe is the name. It's a brushed blend of Surrey alpaca, or organic cotton, and merino wool. And it is in the color Blissful. So if you put a DK weight together with the Churro Surrey alpaca, you are getting more of a worsted weight than you are a DK. So I had to mess around with my my gauge swatches a bit. Bobby never gauge swatches, but I wanted this to happen. I definitely wanted the Surrey alpaca in there. So this is, the Churro is actually a sport weight alpaca. So it comes in 50 grams, 40% alpaca, 20% wool, 246 yards. So obviously you put a sport and a DK weight together. That is not a DK weight sweater anymore. But as I said, I just messed around with my gauge swatches. I am not using the recommended size needle. I had to obviously go down to meet gauge, but I got gauge. So I am super happy now that I'm able to use my alpaca yarn with it. So we are in the beginning stages still, kind of. I've had a good start to my summer, and then it kind of ended bad, which I'll wait till the end and chatter, but it waylaid my knitting big time. So I haven't gotten that far on this. So if you are familiar with a drop shoulder construction, you cast on the back of your sweater first, and then you pick up for your shoulders. So I have the back all finished, and it is glorious. I have the left shoulder all done, and then now I'm working the short rows for my right shoulder. And then eventually you join it, and you would start working the rest of the sweater in the round, because it is a pullover. And it is going to be so good, guys. I have been working on this now every day to get work on it, because I would like to try to get it done for November. And I really want to wear it. It is unbelievably squishy. It is unbelievably soft. And it is going to be so good. I am super, super excited for this knit. And it's the first garment I have knit in quite some time. I haven't been garment knitting lately. Just socks. But I am super excited about this one. It is going to be a very beautiful sweater. And it should knit up pretty fast too. It is just plain vanilla, so yeah, it should work out quick. All right, so I was going to share one more work in progress with you, but my puppy, she needs me. So I am just going to quickly share one last thing with you. I wanted to share these new cable needles by Fox and Pine Stitches. I use them to do the gingerbread latte socks, and I really, really love them. So there are the different sizes. I believe this is for like your fingering weight, and then you got the blue one, I believe, is for more like a DK maybe. I don't know. I have the purple one. I have the purple one that I use for the gingerbread latte socks, which was a little bit big for fingering weight, but I made it work. And then there's still one more size, which is the gold, which would be for like your heavier worsted Aran weight yarns. So I got these off of Fox and Pine Stitches website. She's also on Instagram and that. Let me take out her card really quick so I give you guys the proper details. I think they are around $9 Canadian, and they are so worth it. I really, really love them. So Fox and Pine, there is her website. Very beautiful. I'm really enjoying those, and eventually I will get the bigger size as well. But just, it is, I usually use the fish hook. I call them fish hook. They kind of look like a fish hook for a cable needle. Not really a fan of I've got some that are just straight. Not really a fan of those. They sometimes slip back out. These ones are just perfect, and then you can just hook it around your knitting as you're going. I'm just in love with them. So I wanted to share that with you guys, just because I've been loving it. It's a really cool tool. If you're not familiar with Fox and Pine, she also has stitch markers and progress keepers. She also has the kits to put all your notions and that in. I think I might be able to grab it here. It's right by my desk. I had purchased this past summer, and it is one of my favorite little kits. I have it just sitting on my desk. So it just opens up like this. It's got the magnets, and you got all the little sections in there to put all your notions. It's just so good. So I just have this little kit with like some random stuff in it on my desk. So, and you can like throw this in your project bag and take it with you, which sometimes I do if we're going on a road trip. I just make sure I have everything I need in it, and you can just go with it. So this is another very cool thing that she has on her site. Again, this was like $25 Canadian, and it comes in different colors. Unfortunately, when I ordered this, there was not a purple one, but there is a purple one. So yeah. But very, very cool. I enjoy that a lot. So do go check that out. So yeah, that's kind of the extent of my knitting. That was a lot. So yeah, just right quick, because the pup has kind of calmed down a bit. Just a little life update, I suppose. Life has been going good, as I said. This past summer has been amazing, just trying to get outside a lot. I got treated on my birthday, so this is where I kind of said my summer kind of ended bad. I got treated for my birthday. My birthday was August 15th, and I have always wanted to have foot reflexology. I had a really good friend of mine several years ago. He did it for me in a way, and it just felt so good. And I always wanted to have it done again. So for my birthday and for my friend's birthday, because he's August 18th, we went and got foot reflexology. Different days. He got his done first, and he's the kind of guy that, you know, he doesn't really admit to you when he actually enjoys something, which is really funny. But he was like, I really, really enjoyed that. That was fun. I would do that again. And we were like, what? That's saying something. So he treated me to a session, and unfortunately I got a 3rd-degree burn out of the deal. So it's not the person's fault that did it. I have sensitivity issues, so I am paralyzed from the waist down. I feel everything, but I have issues on my legs and my back, my abdomen area, where I can't tell hot and cold sensation. So I know I'm being touched. I can feel them, but if somebody was to put something hot or cold, there are just spots where I don't know the difference. All that being said, I didn't think there was going to be an issue. It was kind of like a chaise lounge that you get on, and it's heated. There's different heat settings. Well, it was turned up to its hottest setting, and I could feel the heat on my lower back and that, and I didn't have any problems. But when I went to get off and get back into my wheelchair, my right lower back hip area kind of rubbed, and I was like, ooh, that was painful. And when I got home, I had big blisters already started. It was a patch about that big, and I didn't want to go to the hospital because I don't like going to the hospital, but the next day I was kind of forced to go to the hospital, which I'm grateful for, and it turned out to be 3rd-degree burn. So like I said, it was just a freak accident that happened. I'm still dealing with it. It's definitely gotten a lot better, but I have to have I have like a dressing on it, so it has to be changed like 3 times a week. And it was getting changed every day at one point for a good month. So I was having to go to the Sackville Hospital like 3 times a week, and then it was having to be changed here every day. So it was just a lot. It was super painful to have to get into, and we have a wheelchair van, but still going over the bumps and that, it was just so excruciating. So now we have healthcare services that will come into the home. So they come 3 times a week and they change it. So it is getting better. I'm going to see my plastic surgeon on Monday, this Monday coming again tomorrow. It's healing well, so it's all going good. But you guys, all I wanted was a foot massage, and that part was great. But now I'm like, I don't want to go again. And like I said, it was a freak accident. I think it's because the way that I lay, I have scoliosis, so I tend to shift. So I think my right hip was into that bed because it's a chaise lounge. So I was kind of laying back, but kind of sitting. So my butt was up higher than my back. So I think that how I adjusted myself to be comfortable is that my right hip was maybe into that bed too much, and I just didn't realize it. And I definitely did not feel how hot it actually was. So yeah, it's been an ordeal, but it's on the mend, it's healing, and so yeah, it is what it is. But that kind of put off my knitting a little bit because the movement of knitting, it was rubbing against the back of my chair, and I couldn't sit forward in the chair for long to knit because then my spine would start to hurt. So it's been an ordeal. I wasn't able to take my dog for a walk because she's hyper and she's a puller. So just the motion of her pulling and my back hitting, it's been a couple months, but we're on the mend, so that's a good thing. So yeah, it is what it is. As I said earlier, I also got COVID just a couple weeks ago, so I think that's where some of the knitting, I got some time. I had a week off of school. My teacher actually got COVID as well. Her and her parents did. Now, I didn't get contracted from her. We actually contracted it from a neighbor, but it's just going around the Sackville area a lot. So, as I said, to anybody that is in this area, or it doesn't matter where you are, COVID is everywhere. Just be mindful. It's still out there, and it's not fun when you get it. I've heard a lot of people will say, oh, it's just like a regular cold. It's not. Maybe it is for a lot of people, but if you have a weakened immune system like I do, it's not fun. So I've been also I took that time to read a lot too, so that was good. What was the last book I read the Biddlemoors. That was a fun book. It's a book by Jan Arden. She is a Canadian songwriter artist, and it's a really interesting book. My ladies at my local Kohl's store chapters in Amherst, Nova Scotia, they said that it was going to be an interesting one, and they know I'm an animal lover, so she was like, just be mindful that there are some parts of this book that are going to make you cringe. And I was like, oh, really? And yes, they did. So if you are an animal lover and you want to read the Biddlemoors, it is a really good book. It's a really good story. But there are some moments in there when you're an animal lover that make you go, oh, God. So it's a good book. But it's just kind of funny. And me and the lady that works at Kohl's, we were both laughing because if you know Jan Arden, she is a big, huge animal lover, and where she goes in this book is can be very dark. So it's a really good read. So I do recommend it. So I read that one, and then I'm currently reading the Housemaid series by Frida McFadden. So I got through book 1, and now I'm on to book 2. And if you like psychological thrillers, it's a really good series to read. So I am reading through those right now. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been reading. So I'm going to stop chatting because my poor puppy, she wants out. She's been very, very good. So I'm going to go tend to her, and yeah, probably work on my new socks, Halloween socks. We have family coming over today, so I'm gonna do some baking and some cooking, just getting into all the fall cozy vibe. We got our wood stove going, or our pellet stove going, which is wood heat. So the smell of the wood heat, it's just all the cozy vibes. So that is going to be the extent of my Sunday today, and it's everything I love. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday and a wonderful week ahead, and happy knitting. See you guys next time. Bye.